YouTube! What the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and yes, it's actually me playing a battle. I know, it's hard to believe, but it does happen occasionally. And for this lucky soul, is he lucky? Or not? He has to run into me online, so I don't know if that's lucky or not. Maybe? Maybe it means that it'll be easy because I don't get much practice? No. I'm gonna give this guy a heck of a game, if I have anything to say about it. This is Sir X. He actually runs a Twitch stream, and I'll link to it if you want to go check him out. I'd never seen him before, but I hopped on and he said hi. It was nice. Told me to say hi to Twitch, and I was like, oh really? I'm on Twitch? And I told him to say hi to YouTube. Even though you won't be able to see it, he says hi. And apparently he's seen some of my stuff, and I'm glad to see folks like him on Twitch, pushing more Warhammer content. I would love to do more on Twitch and just check it out, but Twitch is really bad for my schedule. It just doesn't fit right because I don't have big chunks of time to dedicate to streaming, but I am glad to see people doing it. So I've got 4 skeleton warriors, 2 grave guards, sternsmen, 2 cryptors, 2 dire wolves, sorry, Mannfred on a hell steed, and then a couple of blood knights. And Sir X is rocking a couple of battle pilgrims mixed in with some spearmen at arms. There's a poleman at arms, a couple of men at arms, and then there's some foot squires as well. A grail relic in the center. He's got the Fay the living mortis engine enchantress, some Pegasus knights, which I like that pick against vampires. I think it's an appropriate one, and it actually has me in kind of a tough spot right now because I don't know what to do with Mannfred because he's obviously going to be hunted down. He's gone double questing knights over here. I was kind of hoping questing knights are already bad on the charge. They're good in prolonged melee, and I had a thought over here, and let's analyze my thought real quick so we don't miss anything else. So my thought here is, hey, I'm gonna charge his questing knights with the dire wolves to tie them down, so that they don't get the charge. But this is an idiotic thought. See, this is what happens if you don't play the game for a long time. Questing knights don't have a good charge. Blood knights do. And blood knights actually crush questing knights in the charge, and they do terrible in prolonged melee. So this is an HeirofCarthage don't do this moment. Remember what your units are good for. Alright, now let's move on. Over here, I'm hoping to pin down his spearmen with my skeleton warriors, and I'm doing roughly the same thing over here using the dire wolves to lead, but these guys honestly would have been good to swing around and still try and chase the horse archers so that they can't do long-term damage to my cryptors. Now, the Pegasus Knights are pursuing Mannfred, and they should. I actually thought about doing like a Zergy air build on him here, but decided against it at the last second. Yeah, you can see here my Blood Knights don't get as good a charge, so they're not going to trade really well over here with the questing knights. Over here I'm going to bring Mannfred to the ground, and at that point his Pegasus Knights are welcome to come join me. That was the idea, is get his guys to the ground, and then immediately I popped a Fate Bune on him. They didn't get a very good charge, and I'm going to cause an intense amount of damage on them would be my idea here. They actually just missed this Favor of the Fey. That's kind of a cool thing to put on the spearmen. So Fay the Mortis Engine's over here hurting me. The mainline fight's going okay for me for now, but in a long-term grind out, it's not going to be great because my units don't have real good leadership. The Blood Knights are doing well, but they are pretty outnumbered. I finally got some Skeleton Warriors over here to deal with these Knights, but I have a lot of Questing Knights to deal with still. But still, Blood Knights are quite good versus most Bretonnian cavalry, and over here, his Questing Knights are getting wrecked, and his Pegasus Knights are in a pretty big hurt as well, especially because of the Fate Bune. But my troops over here are in pretty rough shape as well. He's got these pole arms over here, which I really wish weren't here. Fortunately, I've still got a few skeletons around helping out. My cryptors have been doing pretty good versus his infantry. You can see that the Fay Enchantress is actually just sucking the life out of my infantry. And don't be too confused here, though. Not battle pilgrims or pole arms, but the foot squires can actually do pretty good against Graveguard. Now over here I defeated his initial assault by the Questing Knights, and I'm in pretty bad shape, so this infantry fight here isn't going good, and I'm having to throw everything I can to keep Mannfred alive and focus on him here, and I haven't had a chance to really go after the Fay Enchantress here. I get a Fate Bune here that should pretty much get rid of the rest of his Questing Knights, and Mannfred gets to use most all of his magic power. It's the only reason why I picked Mannfred. His unholy, there's Sword of Unholy Power gives him absurd magic recharge. And it's a pretty even fight right now, but there's a couple of things that are not going great for me. One is the Fay Enchantress is still alive. No one likes her being alive when they're fighting against her, right? And then my Blood Knights did defeat the regrouped Questing Knights, but then I'm actually going to get caught on the hoof here by his other regrouped Questing Knights. That's going to put me in bad shape. Otherwise, I did manage to win that fight somewhat by attrition over time, but it was pretty Pyrrhic. I'm decided that I'm sick of the Fay sucking the life out of my Sternsmen and other units. So I go ahead and use Undeath Resurgent on them, and I'm going to dive down here and attack the Fay Enchantress here momentarily. I should have attacked her a long time ago because Mannfred can easily kill her. The biggest challenge you're going to have with the Fay Enchantress is that she is very slippery when she is on the Sylvaron. So I hit her with a Spirit Leech and then dove in, hoping that I could do massive damage very quickly. He charges in with his Pegasus Knights. I'm following them closely with my Blood Knights and should be able to get a fairly quick finish. So we'll get rid of the Pegasus Knights, and the Fay Enchantress is in dire straits right now. She's trying to build up enough healing, or magic to heal, I would assume, if she can heal. So if I can kill her here, it's going to be it. And my Blood Knights kind of have her trapped. And I go ahead and change the attack, and we're really trying to pin down the Fay Enchantress. She's also sucking the life out of my Blood Knights as we speak, too. Because that's what she does. And anyway, she's almost dead, but you can see she's getting some regrouped troops here. And had we killed the Fay Enchantress, this might turn into a different story, but she is going to be just lucky enough. Yes, I'm foreshadowing a bit. She got an Earthblood, and she's going to be just lucky enough to slip away from that fight alive, and that's it. I'm not going to be able to catch her again because my Blood Knights are gone. And that means that this fight is effectively over, so it was a very close fight right up to that point. If I could have actually killed the Fay Enchantress there, I do believe it would have swung against my opponent here because I would have had the means to kill his Grail Relic with Mannfred. Still had a few other things to deal with, though. There were some regrouped knights, there were still some archers over here, so it wasn't a guaranteed, but it certainly would have helped. You can see that with her speed, it makes it very difficult for Mannfred to actually land, and she can just keep moving. This is one of the reasons why the Fay Enchantress is actually such a challenging foe. She can be very difficult to get a hold of when she wants to be. I actually forgot to bring Raise the Dead with Mannfred here too, so I actually had a little bit of magic here at the end, and I could have raised some zombies and other stuff that would have been extremely useful at trying to get rid of some of these Bretonnian units, but it's not going to happen. Last ditch effort, can I kill the Grail Relic and try and kill some of the leadership of his men? Not likely. It's pretty much over here. I do a lot of damage to the Grail Relic, which is great, but again, all this would have been better earlier had I not been running away from Peg Knights or trying to keep Mannfred alive. I suppose I should have, if I would have had Raise the Dead, I could have landed Mannfred in that fight, and kind of done the same basic idea that I did, but raised some dead to keep his cavalry and other units stuck and keep his Pegasus Knights stuck in combat. And then I could have tried to sneak away with Mannfred to kill the Enchantress and the Grail Relic, because you can see he actually gets quite a bit of work done when he gets the opportunity. I killed the Grail Relic, and the Fay Enchantress was nearly dead, and she's about to get killed again, but for not that the whole Bretonnian army is free now. So yeah, I think that would have been the better strategy. Don't forget Raise the Dead, bring that, get down on the ground like I did, lure the Pegasus Knights down, but then do a Raise the Dead so that it's harder for all those units to get back up in the air, and then sneak off with Mannfred to go take care of business, which he should have been able to do. It was a close fight nonetheless, and it was fun. Surex outranks me considerably on the leaderboard, so I was pretty happy with the performance overall, and he seemed like a good player. I had a lot of fun, and I actually got to play him twice. I was just going to show you one of the replays here. The other one was also with, oh, what was it? It was Wood Elves versus Empire. I was the Empire, and he pulled off a very close victory there as well. I kind of had him, I thought I had him on the ropes, and I think I got a little bit cocky on it, and he got me in the end on that one too. So he played a couple of fun games, but I wanted to show you this one because I thought this one was fun. But yeah, so the Fay Enchantress is going to come out as the victor in that fight. You can see that in terms of performance here. I got a lot of chevrons in my Blood Knights. They got some very important kills. And they did good, but in the end it just wasn't enough. Good wasn't enough. I should have been able to do more with the Sternsmen, but didn't. This Graveguard definitely got some work done, but you can see it didn't pick up a chevron, so it must have just been killing a bunch of peasants. Skeletons do what skeletons do. These guys were wasted. I threw the Dire Pack away and took away the charge from my Blood Knights. That was a big mistake. And then couple that with the fact that I didn't get Mannfred out in time. I do think it was possible for me to defeat this build, but definitely some mismanagement on my part and some nice play on the part of my opponent. So hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll be back with more replays soon. I am on the road, but still be recording and trying to upload here. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate MSI sponsoring. By the way, if you want to check it out, MSI sent me some new equipment. It's a video I posted on Sunday. If you don't want to check it out, that's fine too. I will be doing a follow-up to that on Thursday when I get back from my travel. But otherwise, until then, just expect more of the same. Good replays, fun battles, good times. HeirofCarthage signing out. I'll see you next time.